Christopher Daniel Soriano Jr., better known by his stage name CJ, is a rapper from Staten Island, New York. Born on January 4th, 1997, CJ is of Puerto Rican descent and grew up in a relatively stable household compared to many of his peers in the drill scene. Before the fame, CJ wasn't in the streets or deep in the rap game. He started making music in his teens, releasing songs on SoundCloud and YouTube.
Music, I was, writing every day and listening to beats and just home working, I'm like, damn, like I want to get back in the studio.
Without much attention. Most of his early tracks didn't gain traction, but CJ continued to push forward independently, experimenting with different styles and flows, while trying to carve out his own lane in the New York rap scene. His life changed drastically in the summer of 2020 when he dropped his breakout single, Whoop-Dee.
It was definitely in the middle of pandemic. I would say I believe July, end of July 30th.
So we was fresh into the pandemic because the pandemic really started around March.
Yeah, like March, April. Yeah, end of March going into April. So yeah, so I was just home, just chilling just like everybody else. We was on lockdown, and
the track, which used a beat originally produced by Pai Pixcoyo and previously used by Pakistani artist Instrumental in a drill-style freestyle, was laced with aggressive energy and lyrics that seemed to suggest gang affiliation. With red bandanas in the visuals, the word Whoop-Dee repeated like an anthem, and CJ's drill-heavy delivery, the song took off, especially on TikTok and YouTube. It exploded overnight and became one of the defining anthems of that year. In the middle of a pandemic, CJ had what every unsigned rapper dreamed of, a viral hit that crossed over from street to mainstream. But while the song was blowing up, a darker narrative was unfolding behind the scenes.
Next level, but there were some issues surfacing about CJ that would eventually end his career. For one, people online began accusing him of being affiliated with gangs.
People in the New York drill scene, especially those from Brooklyn where the movement had deeper roots, started questioning who CJ really was. The term Whoop-Dee wasn't just a catchy hook. It was a term tied to the Bloods, more specifically the Wu movement, which included fallen rappers like Pop Smoke and street sets from neighborhoods like Canarsie and Brownsville. CJ, being from Staten Island, was a name no one recognized from that world. And yet he was using language and imagery that was closely guarded and often came with real-life consequences. As his fame grew, so did the skepticism. Prominent rappers and influencers in the drill community, including names like 20GZ and affiliates of Fivio Foreign, began publicly calling him out. They accused CJ of faking gang ties, using red flags and coded lingo in his music and videos to gain street credibility that he didn't earn. Some even said he was an industry plant, a term used for artists who seemingly appear out of nowhere with big budget support and no real roots in the culture they represent. These accusations weren't helped by the fact that CJ's uncle is James Cruz, a well-known music executive who previously worked with Diddy and other high-level artists. Having that type of industry connection gave CJ access and leverage that most street rappers don't have, and it only added fuel to the authenticity debate. CJ never directly confirmed nor denied blood affiliation. In interviews, he brushed off the controversy and said Whoop-Dee was just a song, claiming he didn't mean to offend anyone or portray something he wasn't. But by then, many in the streets and even in the industry felt the damage was already done. What made matters worse is that CJ didn't collaborate with anyone from the Brooklyn drill scene, the very place the sound came from, which made it feel like he was borrowing their wave without paying respect. Despite the criticism, CJ landed a major label deal with Warner Records and released his debut EP Loyalty Over Royalty in February 2021. The project was executive produced by French Montana, who tried to position CJ as the next big New York star. But the EP didn't hit the way Whoop-Dee did. Follow-up songs like BLP and Real One failed to chart or generate the same level of excitement. Many began to write CJ off as a one-hit wonder, an artist who had his moment but couldn't evolve past the controversy or the sound he was borrowing from. Since then, CJ's momentum has slowed down. His social media presence remains active, but musically, he hasn't made a major impact since 2021. The conversation around him is no longer about his potential, but about what could have been. His rise to fame was fast, but the backlash was just as quick. CJ's story isn't just about going viral, it's about what happens when artists step into lanes they may not fully understand or belong to. In the world of drill, where lyrics often reflect real life and gang affiliation